It's market update time, so let's get straight into it. Do not place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video today, because trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. There are so many areas you need to become good at to become a good trader. Emotional mastery, chart reading, trading systems, money and trade management. So this video is just educational only to help you become a much better trader. Alright, market update time. Just have a quick little market update on the chart itself. Looking at the charts right now, we're looking at the Dow Jones Industrial Average, pretty much a nothing day across the board. Really interesting thing, if I bring up all my trend lines that I've talked about in the past, let me remove this Fibonacci level here, don't need that anymore. And I know it's pretty busy right now, but I want you to notice something in this trend line right here where it's coming into play. We're coming into this, remember this box? If I squeeze this up, remember this is the big box. This whole area here is that big weekly resistance area. And then now recently we've had this trend line here. And if you have a look at, let me bring my little trend line drawing tools up. We've had that touch through there, touch through there, touch through there. And you can see how it just slightly rejected through there. Does that mean anything? Probably not. But it is showing a lot of resistance through there. And we still at that. We still are at that area of big resistance right now as well too. So really interesting to see what's actually happening with that there. I see exactly what's going on right now, guys. And you know, coming into the Fed announcement, it's pretty much a nothing day through there. And same with the S&P 500. S&P 500 again, nothing day through there. It is. I am getting both of my. One thing I am noticing, guys, is if I look at both of my stochastics. My double stochastic here that I have, I'm noticing both of these getting into this top territory here. That's actually it's not a weak sign yet, but it's showing weakness in the markets, because the way that these stochastics work is that if you start getting the slowdown like through here, this is like the slowest stochastic, and then the fastest stochastic starts making divergence. That's actually quite powerful. Really powerful. I learned that from my mentor a long time ago, and it still works to this day. It's amazing how well it works. So that's the reason why I'm saying it's a pretty powerful move there, and yeah, it's showing a lot of weakness. Now moving on to the S&P 500, same thing. Russell, again guys, the Russell is showing really weakness there, because it's pulled back the most on the stochastics. It hasn't actually even broken the previous high. This previous high back here, so it hasn't even broken that. And again, we're at this major area of resistance where we are right now. S&P 500, same thing, broken. Same thing where we're at this area of resistance. Now, if I did draw a trend line, let's see. Probably the trend line. Nah, I was just thinking about trend line there, but no. This whole area here, guys. If I look at the weekly chart. This weekly chart here is this big area of resistance. So there we go, guys. That's exactly what I'm seeing on the markets, on the Nasdaq as well too. Nasdaq, you can see Nasdaq's right into that area of getting to area of resistance as well, as we've been talking about. And the same thing, it's just slightly getting a little high. We could quite possibly start getting a little divergence, as I was talking about yesterday. On the stochastic and my double stochastic, my slower stochastic is getting up there as now as well too. So that's actually showing a lot of weakness, potentially starting to form in this area through here. So the one thing I do say, guys, is people talk about the stochastics and stuff like that and divergence. It's so powerful. I was looking at gold just recently, and remember I was telling before about the divergence above and below and so forth. Look at gold. This is GLD. Right, we had a lower low here, and what is that? That's a higher low there, right? And then we had another lower low here, and then we had another higher low here. See the divergence picking up, and then we started to pick up through the price action. But notice the slow is down through here. That's the slow, and then the market picks up. So what I actually do see, let me grab a pen here. What I actually do see, look at it right now, right? We had this long term, this slow stochastic up here. And look at this sort of fastest stochastic. Comes up through here, comes down, comes back up here, comes down, and you start to see this divergence through here, divergence through there. The market is making higher highs. and this divergence through here, and we had this pretty big sort of a nice downward bar. So I'm expecting more downside with GOD. I was actually looking at GOD just recently, yesterday as well too, and saying, wow, look at that divergence coming into play right there, and you can see how it had a nice sort of sell off through there. So I do notice that again, guys, the double stochastic, I really like using the double stochastic for that as well too. I don't always like to use indicators, guys. It must be really clear here. I don't always like to use indicators, but sometimes when I'm trying to get a gauge of like what's going on with these markets and trying to see what's going on, that's when I try to bring out the indicators and just try to gauge what's actually happening, because it helps me understand what's going on in the markets. One thing I do want to mention to you guys is this. Let's just bring up, say, the S&P 500 here for a minute. You know what, let's just do the SPY, because that's the one that I trade. And let's actually, I want to bring up the volume here. I want to open up the volume here. And one thing I want to share with you guys is that, there we go. One thing I want to share with you guys is this. In any decent move, in any strong, true move, we need volume, right? We need volume to keep pushing it up. So if this move here was true, generally we'd start to get some big volume spikes and big moves down, a big move, you know, big moves up, like we've gotten some nice moves through here. But generally volume goes along with it. But, and I've talked about this before, volume analysis and with price action. Notice his volume down here is actually quite low. It hasn't actually even broken above the 50 MA on this moving average, on this on the volume. That's actually not a good sign, guys. If the market's going one way and the volume is staying very low, it's showing there's not a lot of strength in that move. So that tells me the next move, what if we get like a move like this here, like that, and we get a volume spike, well, you better believe that is the direction of the market it's going to go in. If we get a move like that, boom, up like that, and we get a big volume spike, you best believe that this is likely to be now the direction of the movement, at least for the next couple of weeks, and maybe even head back up to the top here, up here. I don't think that's going to happen. I think a lot more other things are going to happen. I think we're going to roll over, but that's just my opinion. What I'm seeing from the charts, and that's exactly what I'm talking to you guys about right now. So there we go, guys. That's what I see in the markets. That's what I see in the charts. We can see exactly what's going on there right now by looking at the volume. Again, the volume, we are getting some volume spikes, like that volume spike, that little volume spike there, and that little volume spike there. But we're not getting big towering volume over the 50 MA. And guys, by looking at volume analysis, and here's something that I've noticed time and time again, and you guys can just go study this. If the market is making a move up, but the volume is either tapering down, so this might be the volume either tapering down, or it's just staying low, then if we do get moved down and a spike in volume, then this is likely to be the direction the market's likely to go in. Volume needs to follow. I've seen this time and time again. It's really interesting, the correlation between volume and price action. So in looking at that, guys, if I go back, if you talk about volume, if I go back to this chart through here, and let's go back to the Dow Jones, and hopefully it'll load up, and I'm going to load up the monthly chart. And I've been talking about this for quite some time, but look at that monthly divergence. Damn. Monthly. There we go. All right, cool. So one thing I want you guys to realize is this here. Remember I was talking about the direction overall, where you can see through here. Let me bring up my trend line. I go trend line tool. There we go. So you can see from basically from here to here, from there to there, the volume was actually tapering off overall monthly. And then something what happened, we started getting this downward move through here, and look at this, look at all this volume coming into it. That's actually showing strength in the overall weakness. And this is this has been one of my reasons why I'm so bearish in this market overall. The volume was tapering down and tapering down and tapering down and tapering down. That you can see the volume in this market was quite low. The volume was getting lower and lower and lower and lower as the price was getting higher and higher and higher. Now we haven't even had a big pullback. We've just had sort of just a sideways, nice pullbacks and stuff like that in this monthly chart of this. This is the monthly chart. We haven't even had a big pullback yet, and we're already starting to get a rise in volume as this market is starting to pull back through here. that's showing a lots and lots of weakness to the downside. So that's one of the reasons why, guys, I'm still overall long term bearish on this market, because the overall big direction for me is showing down, and obviously everything that's still happening in the markets. Guys, do you know, just quickly, I just spoke to someone just recently, and he was saying, oh yeah, because of the price of oil, I got laid off. And he said around the world there's potentially hundreds of thousands of people that have been laid off because of the oil price. Guys, that's just another thing in this economy that people are not seeing. So the economy is not as rosy as people would think it, as the government wants you to think it is. Hey, it's John Howell here, and thanks so much for watching my video. You see, I'm putting out daily videos and education on helping you learning the art of successful trading. So click on the subscribe button to keep up to date with every video I do. Also, check out my story video, $250,000 in debt, cancer, overweight, family passing away, lived on the streets, and more, and how I overcome it and now thriving through my life. This is here to motivate you, so click on that image to watch my video. And lastly, if you're struggling with your trading, then you need to see my latest webinar where I'm sharing with you an amazing strategy that allows you to generate an income without getting the direction right. So click on that image on this page to register for my next free webinar. This is John Howell here. Remember, success can be yours if you go claim it. So step up, take massive action, and face your fears today.